Thank you and welcome to Sip Chat. Believe it or not, 52. I hope you're doing well, fully vaccinated, but still being very cautious because the battle is not over yet. Thank you so much for being here with us. For many of us, life and work are inseparable. To me, it's a huge privilege to spend time with all of you. I don't feel that I'm working, but instead I am learning from you and with you. So thank you for taking the time in your busy schedule to join us for this critical conversations and very inspiring conversations. If this is your first time with us, welcome. Most of all, thank you for attending another virtual meeting, especially on a Thursday afternoon, and while you're dealing with current demands of transitioning to a new normal. But as I always say, I hope this is your best Zoom meeting of the week, or at least the second best. Sip Chat is open to everyone who is interested in moving the creative sector forward, hearing from colleagues about best practices to reshape and adapt our organizations to the new circumstances. We have the same goals. We want our organizations to thrive, artists to succeed, eliminate systemic racism and violence of any kind. And we want a more just, equitable, and artful society accessible for everyone. So feel free to introduce yourself using the chat box, share your questions, thoughts, also using the chat box, or you can unmute yourself after our guest speaks. Here, everyone has a voice. Our guests today have been helping the art sector not only to survive, but to thrive. I'm very, very pleased and humbled to have Adjoa, Lisa, and Peter with us. Lisa and Adjoa, welcome. And Peter, welcome back. We came a long way. So we had many questions there. So now you're going to share all your findings so we can have more questions. So our co-host Cornell is going to introduce you our guests and we can get started.
Adjoa Jones G. Almeida, the Deputy Director of Learning and Social Impact at the Brooklyn Museum. Now, Lisa Dent is the Executive Director at ArtSpace New Haven. She's an advocate for cultural workers and living artists. Now to Peter DeMuro. Peter is a dancer, actor, choreographer, director, teacher, facilitator of creativity, and has been an art leader for more than 30 years. He is the Executive Artistic Director at the Dance Complex and the Artistic Director at Peter DeMuro / Public Displays of Motion.
So why don't you start sharing your trajectory and what are you working on and some silver linings?
Thank you.
So, Peter, you have a busy weekend ahead of you.
Yes, we're having a festival for us, you, we, and them, and I don't think anybody got left out of that. Hopefully not. So they'll all be involved.
Before we open for questions, I just want to say, Matt, congratulations. I've been meaning to email you. You were also a guest at Sip Chat and you were in the middle of constructions. What you've done has been unprecedented. Congratulations. I am going to visit your studio. It's amazing what you did. Amazing. So congratulations.
That's so sweet of you to say. Everybody come over and see it. It's real and there are people here and we want to share it with you.
Tessitura was originally developed by and for the Metropolitan Opera of New York. Released in 2000, Andrew, after serving as key executive leadership roles at Tessitura for over 9 years, began his tenure in 2021 as Tessitura CEO and President. Tim O'Connor Consulting Group, based in NYC, New York City. Darren Bascom is Proverb's founder and the creative vision behind its unique approach to brand building.
Cheers to this powerful team. So thank you so much. This is incredible. You guys, you are a combination of everything that we need. You can tell us how should we look like, how should we promote ourselves, how should we engage with our audience, and how should we profit from it. So, and we're going to take notes, and then hopefully the sector is going to be even better. So
all, happy Pride Month for those celebrating. My name is Tom O'Connor. My pronouns are he, him. As you heard, I'm the president of Tom O'Connor Consulting Group.
also, what is the state of the arts now in your vision? And you can pick and choose any specific area.
I ask this question all the time, actually, when I'm talking to executives. And there is definitely, and the folks that I hear from, there's this dichotomy.
Sarah, you have a question?
So I would say I've been talking with a lot of folks and seeing a lot of balance sheets that are looking better right now than they have looked in years and years.
The pandemic led me to, really quick, for a source of inspiration for us.
And I think that the generosity of spirit and the generosity of ideas and the generosity of just support for everyone that we've.
Okay. La Placa Cohen. It's a New York-based strategic marketing and communications firm serving the needs of cultural and creative organizations. Arthur consults to organizations throughout the world. Next to Richard Maloney. Well, Richard is the Clinical Associate Professor and Director of the Performing Arts Administration Graduate Program at the Steinhardt School of Culture, Education, and Human Development.
My first question would be, I don't think you need, of course, to prepare anything. You've been digesting this for so long. But in terms of your main takeaways from this survey, what can you tell us from your personal opinion?
Yeah, I think the first thing I would tell you from the first wave of the study, which again, consider when it was conducted, it was last spring when the world changed and everyone was freaking out and we were always wiping every surface, for example. Remember?
13% are paying for digital content. And I think this is something that we're all trying to figure out how to monetize.
I'm just going to start wearing a t-shirt that says 13%. Sorry.
What do you mean by traditional art forms, and traditional to whom? Who are referring to when you talk about art form?
That's a great question. And that's
Mark Thompson, Executive Director, and has been so for 3 years after being the ED at Jefferson Patterson Park and Museum.
And you heard that we're a radio station. And when COVID came around, what we did was turn to try to make our infrastructure useful to the community.
You know, it's really great to be here, Claudia. Thank you for the invitation. I see some dear friends, and I see a lot of folks that I hope will be new friends. So thank you. I'm really happy to be here. Our earned income programs of Bostix and our online calendar, which supports a lot of earned advertising income. And those were the things that we were thinking, okay, you know, we're going to have to refund tickets or do credits for these for a while. So what we really focused on was how we could be working virtually